Ashley Nagaoka with me. I'm Casey Lund filling in for Dylan. A lot to get to. Of course, June 1st, the official start of hurricane season. That's just a week away, right,
That's
Ash?
right. And moments ago, NOAA forecasters just gave their prediction on what Hawaii can expect this year. Joining us live is our chief meteorologist, Jennifer Robbins from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. Jen, what can you tell us?
Aloha, everyone. As you know, it's been quiet the last 3 years. We had La Nina. Now switching gears, and we're talking about major gears to El Nino, and that was the big talk today at the conference. In fact, I have John Bravender here from the Warning Coordination Meteorologist of the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jen. I'm glad to be here and talk about this.
So this is going to be serious when we talk about El Nino. Usually our eyebrows are rising because it is a serious situation for us.
El Nino years, we tend to see more tropical cyclone activity in the Central Pacific. Normally we tell people it doesn't matter what the outlook is, it only takes one to really impact your life for a long time. But during El Nino years, we tend to have more activity, which means more chances for us to be impacted here in Hawaii.
We're talking about notable past El Nino years. 2009 was one, 2015 and 2016. We had 16 that crossed into our basin. So how is this a game changer compared to La Nina?
La Nina years, we've had 3 in a row that were very quiet. 2, 1, and 1 for the last 3 years. An average year for us is 4 to 5 tropical cyclones. 2015, that was our record-setting year. Even in 2009, we didn't have 15, but we still had Neki coming up through the Northwest Hawaiian Islands. So they can be more very impactful because of the warm water near the islands.
And I know you folks are very busy today. You're also helping out Guam. Talk about that situation as they face a super typhoon and the recovery efforts behind that.
The super typhoon that just went through Guam is like a stark reminder. This is May. West Pacific sees a lot of activity, and during El Nino years, the West Pacific, they tend to see cyclones form farther east, which gives more threat for Guam and the Northern Marianas Islands. So this, as we're recovering from the devastation that occurred there, we have to look to the future as well and what might be on the horizon. Here in our office, we're trying to help out as much as we can. We have a forecast office in Guam who gave us their responsibility. We're forecasting for them now so they can take care of themselves, take care of their homes, and get back up and running.
And as we face the changes this year, we're talking about above average season. What are the takeaways you want to share with the public?
Get ready now. Don't wait until there's a tropical storm or hurricane on the horizon. Start your preparedness now. It might be hard to get 2 weeks of food and water, but get as much as you can afford, much as you can store. And don't wait until there's something out there now. If you do that now, you'll be ready and not have to stand in line when the time comes.
Very good information there. And we also have Veronica Verde from FEMA, and she has faced a lot of storms and destruction. Thank you so much for coming and being here today. Talk about how the public can prepare.
Well, right now what people need to look at is having that emergency kit and making sure that they have 14 days of supply. Another thing that they need to do is have a family plan. Where are they going to go? Do they need to evacuate? Do they need a shelter in place? And also there's a lot of great resources that we have. We have the FEMA app that shows how people can prepare now. There's also a great resource if shelters happen to open up if there is a disaster. There's also ready.gov that provides many tools for individuals and families on how to prepare now on all hazards.
And we were talking about Guam itself. What can we learn from this situation? They are a resilient nation, as we know. They've faced typhoon after typhoon, but this was a little bit different because this was almost a direct hit. Even though the eye of the storm didn't cross over them, what can we learn from this situation and take it here at home in Hawaii?
Well, luckily we were able to deploy individuals before the storm, but one of the things that people need to learn is there's still flooding that occurs even after the hurricane leaves that island. So people really need to look at other types of insurance, for example, like flood insurance is always important because Flooding will continue. 1 inch of flooding can cost $25,000 worth of damage. But more importantly, people need to ensure where they're going to go to if they live in a low-lying area and it does flood. So they need to start to look at where are those evacuation routes, where are those shelters, and also try to figure out where can they shelter in place before a storm hits.
And today we're talking about how it takes a whole community. We can't just rely on government agencies, of course. So let's talk about the conversation we should have at home.
So one of the conversations that individuals and families should have at home is how are they going to reunite in case like there is a major disaster? What type of emergency kit do they need? 14 days of supply. They need to look at their home, at work, and also like in their cars. Those are some of the things that people need to start looking at and preparing now. And it only takes one storm. We just saw what happened in Guam. Again, it's still early May. Hurricane season doesn't occur until June the 1st, and we already have this typhoon that has impacted Guam. So we want to make sure that people get prepared now, look at that risk, and start preparing for it.
Thank you so much, Veronica, and thank you so much, John Bravender. So that's a friendly reminder. Hurricane season does begin June 1st and then continues to November 30th. But as we're talking about, and we talk about each year, it only takes one, and that's why it's very important to prepare now. And the outlook today, we're talking about above average. It really doesn't matter the number there of 5 to 7. We're talking about how El Nino could be a driving force for more of those tropical cyclones to cross into the Central Pacific. So be prepared now, and a great way to do that is also to download our Hawaii News Now interactive radar, and also we have a number of tools on our app, so make sure to download that. So back to you, Ash and Casey. Again, be prepared now.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, she stole the words right out of my mouth.